Hi, this is Ferdy Skippers for Portfolio Insight. Welcome to part 2 of our video on portfolio performance and behavior gap analysis. In part 2, we'll demonstrate the new portfolio overview page and the tools for improving your portfolio's performance. If you missed part 1 of this video, I recommend you watch it first. It explains the difference between investment return and investor return and why it is important to understand that it's your behavior that causes this behavior gap. The new portfolio overview page has 3 main sections. A performance section with key metrics related to your portfolio. A leaderboard section showing leading and trailing performers in your portfolio, and an analysis section for behavior gap analysis, trade analysis, and benchmarking. Let's go to the Portfolio Insight platform now for the demonstration. You can access the new performance features by selecting Portfolio, Overview. I'm using Portfolio Insight's sample portfolio with 2 accounts, an inside account and an outside account. You can view these individually or all the accounts in your portfolio in aggregate by selecting All Accounts. The Performance section shows your portfolio's market value as of the last market trading day and how the portfolio has changed from the prior session. It also shows your lifetime gains, both as a value and as a percentage. While these are interesting metrics, they don't really say much about your portfolio's performance. For example, a lifetime gain of 53% is fantastic if the portfolio is only 2 years old, but it's rather poor if the portfolio is 20 years old. Also, if your portfolio went up 53% while the market went up 100%, that would be quite disappointing, to say the least. That's why the new analysis section is so important. It provides annualized returns and benchmarking, which are much more relevant for understanding your portfolio's true performance. The summary also provides dividend totals, both year-to-date, paid, and forecasted. You can review specifics about paid and forecasted dividends by jumping to the Pay Schedule tool. Here you'll see paid dividends in green, announced dividends in blue, and forecasted dividends that have not been announced or paid yet in gray. The last metrics in the summary table are your portfolio's 1-year target value and upside. These are calculated from the 1-year targets and upsides of individual stocks in your portfolio, appropriately weighted based on the relative size of each holding. For example, if we look at a snapshot of Procter & Gamble, which is one of the stocks in this portfolio, its 1-year target price and upside are used in the calculation of the portfolio's overall 1-year target price and upside. Here you can review your portfolio's overall dividend quality grade and view the distribution of different grades by market value. For details, you can jump straight to the dividend quality tool and review the dividend quality grades of individual stocks. Portfolio Insight recommends a careful review of stocks with inferior grade, such as these in red. Unless you find a compelling reason to continue holding such stocks, we recommend swapping them out for stocks with higher dividend quality grades. Doing so will improve the overall quality of your portfolio. This chart here shows a 1-year history of your portfolio's market value and daily changes. You can also see buy and sell transactions, including trade details when you hover over each buy or sell flag. The last chart compares your portfolio to a selected benchmark based on daily price gains. You can change from the default SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF, to something like VIG, which is the Vanguard Dividend Appreciation ETF, or any other benchmark of your choosing. Below this chart is a convenience link to the Import Transactions tool. With this tool, you can import your complete trading history by supplying trade confirmations issued by your brokerage, or you can link Portfolio Insight to your brokerage accounts through Brokerage Connect. Alternatively, You can upload a CSV file with all your trades, and Portfolio Insight will process and validate those trades automatically. The leaderboard section is below the performance section and shows the 4 top performing stocks in your portfolio during the last trading session. And below these, you'll find the 4 bottom performers. In the ranking chart, you can hover over each position to see how each stock in your portfolio performed during the last trading session. I find the trailing 12-month version of the leaderboard particularly helpful. You can switch to it by clicking on the TTM tab. Here, Walgreens is identified as the worst performer over the trailing 12 months, with returns of negative 33%. A stock that performs that badly warrants some scrutiny. Is it a temporary setback, or is there something fundamentally wrong with the stock? The ranking chart also compares your stock's performance to your selected benchmark, in this case VIG. Notice that only 7 stocks outperformed VIG over the trailing 12-month period. Generally, if you want to match or outperform a benchmark, you need more stocks to peak above the benchmark line and fewer stocks to peak below the benchmark line. And now the all-important analysis section, which you can find by scrolling to the bottom of the performance overview page. The first thing to notice is the annualized portfolio returns over different time frames, the lifetime of your portfolio, and over the last 10 years, 5 years, and the last 12 months. Portfolio Insight calculates your investor return for each time frame and annualizes the results. Portfolio Insight also calculates the investment return for each time frame and annualizes the results. For the sample portfolio, which started in January 2014, the lifetime investor return is 8.51%, whereas the lifetime investment return is 10.65%. This implies a behavior gap of negative 2.14 percentage points. As mentioned in the narrative, poor decisions such as trading too often, purchasing stocks significantly above fair value, or selling during a market downturn will reduce your investor return. A behavior gap of negative 2.14 percentage points means this investor's trading strategy and the timeliness of trades can be significantly improved. In fact, with a behavior gap of minus 2.14 percentage points, Portfolio Insight estimates that the investor missed out on more than $250,000 in gains over a 10-year time frame, as graphically illustrated in the Assisted Insight section to the right. Here, Portfolio Insight provides a summary of the trade analysis it performed for this portfolio. 15% of stock buys were at a premium, while 33% of stock sells were at a discount. The investor can improve the investor return and narrow the behavior gap by using Portfolio Insight's fair value estimates and upside targets to avoid buying stocks at a premium. The trade analysis can be accessed by clicking on the Trades tab or clicking on the shortcut under this Assisted Insight. Portfolio Insight calculates a historical price range for each buy and sell transaction based on 15 months of market closing prices. Transactions made above the range are at a premium. Transactions made below the range are at a discount. This chart shows all buy transactions and highlights those executed at the premium in red. These are buys that negatively impacted or widened the behavior gap. To the right, the worst buys at a premium are listed in descending order by premium. Likewise, the bottom chart shows all sell transactions and highlights those executed at the discount in red. These are sells that negatively impacted or widened the behavior gap. To the right, the worst sells at the discount are listed in ascending order by discount. The key takeaway for this investor is to have fewer of these types of trades in the future. The trade analysis has a second part that is just as informative. You can access it by clicking on the positive tab here. Now we see a list of buys at a discount and sells at a premium that positively impacted or narrowed the behavior gap. These trades are highlighted in blue in the charts. By having more of these types of trades in the future, the investor can improve his investor return and so narrow the behavior gap. There's another important insight to consider, so let's go back to the overview. Here, Portfolio Insight tells the investor your stock selection strategy could be improved. To see why Portfolio Insight might say that, let's look at the benchmark analysis. Here we see investment returns compared with various benchmarks and over different time frames. Over its lifetime, the portfolio performed better than VIG, a moderately aggressive benchmark. Perhaps the investor is perfectly happy with that performance. But if we switch to the 5-year time frame, the portfolio is now underperforming even the more moderate Noble or ProShares S&P 500 Dividend Aristocrats ETF. Perhaps the investor should consider adding a few high-quality dividend growth stocks with superior growth outlooks. In conclusion, Portfolio Insight provides a powerful suite of tools that can help you improve your selection of quality stocks and improve your trading strategy. These include blended fair values with 12-month upside prices based on consensus estimates, dividend quality grades with assisted insights for more than 700 stocks, and quality ranges for fundamentals to profile higher quality companies. This concludes part 2 of the video. If you have questions or comments, feel free to email me at my Portfolio Insight email address. If you have questions about the Portfolio Insight platform, email support@portfolio-insight.com. Thank you for watching and happy investing.